It's the Date Master, and we're back. Such a fine time to meet again to discuss the infamous Jada Pinkett Smith. I must say, her relentless smearing campaign of his legacy it's been consistent. It has been consistent. It has been proven how she feels about Will Smith. Now, what you have going on today, you have to ask yourself, how has the climate, platforms, how have they gotten to the point to where it's okay to discuss the issues within your own marriage to strangers who you don't know from interacting from a gala type of atmosphere, maybe a movie, some casting, in passing. You don't really know these people intimately. And for millions, if not billions, to watch a woman tell the world all of the issues that she has with her own husband. Now, what Will Smith has to understand, this is what we are looking at now. Once you get into a point in a relationship or any dealing, and you see consistent nagging complaints, the quote unquote, we need to have conversations, etc. Again, you're coming to a turning point. The turning point in this situation is the old set of things that I used to like, that you used to do, that I used to love, no longer works because you've done them for so long. The old ways, the old gestures, they no longer work because he probably exhausted them early on. Now, what Will Smith is, what he doesn't want to do is leave his family. He doesn't want to separate because it's going to be, you got to look at the media consuming it. It's going to be all over the place because the anticipation is any day now. It seems as if Jada Pinkett is pretty much calling his bluff, trying to coerce him into divorcing her because she doesn't want to be the bad guy. In a lot of situations, you will find something that is consistent across the board when you're dealing with a lot of women, is that the more they try not to be the bad guy, the more you're the bad guy, or the more they are the bad guy. And this can swing both ways. Instead of telling her she no longer wants to be with him and file divorce, she's trying to save face. She's trying to save face. So once he decides to push forward with a divorce, he would be the problem. He would be the one considered to be giving up on the marriage because she's developed a platform which is centered around healing. And I saw something earlier today talking about, it was like a quote saying these chicks don't really be healed. You had this whole healing campaign where you had this woman empowerment. In reality, what you had was the female trauma bonding process, because the very things that they're trying to heal from, they no longer they cannot escape. So when I tell you guys to study social media, type in your search box, type in toxic relationships, type in I'm toxic, and see how many hits come up. See how many comments, how much engagement that's centered around toxic behavior and toxic relationships. Women try to run away from the very thing that they're running to. This is what they like. So this fake healing campaign where women basically try to put out a narrative that they did the work, they're healed, they're all entrepreneurs, they own these businesses. This was just a cover up to make it seem as if they heal, and now the men are the one that needs to do the healing, because you also had the counter wave talking about black men's mental health, or men's mental health. So the women are now try to take responsibility or try to take credit for being the ones healed, when we all know that's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. But Will Smith does not want to be the one to put the knife in. This is pretty much a waiting game. If you pay attention to it, which this is nothing uncommon for a Hollywood uh, relationship. This is nothing uncommon, but understand how she's going about it. She's playing chess. She's not playing. She's putting public shame to where it put pressures on him to leave. Because again, once he leaves, she's now free to do whatever she wants. One must ask, how is she that old and still looking for new dick? She's still looking for sexual pleasures in her 50s. Now one's gonna argue, well, women, there's no age limit on when a woman can be pleased, of course. But there's a way you go about these type of issues. This is not anything new. This is not anything new. You saw the situation with August Alsina. She had in-house dick. No one came with the outrage. But if the shoe was on the other foot, if Will Smith would have had a 18, 19 friend of his daughter linging around and they found that he was having relations with her, it would be all type of hell. They would try to put charges on Will Smith. But the disdain that the modern woman now has for her husband is all because the woman got the husband without putting in the work. They didn't have to put in the work. That's why the things that you do no longer pleases her, because she's got those same things that you're trying to do to make things right. She got them for free or for little to no effort. She did not earn them. The loves come after the fact. A lot of people are looking for this love, and then once we get in love, we're going to do all these great feats and all of these things like that. The love comes after. You do the building, you do the groundwork first, and then the love develops once you see what you can achieve together. These relationships, a lot of women think these relationships are one-sided. It's what I want, when I want it, and how I want it. But only beta males will allow this behavior and this thought process. A lot of women want it their way. Once they become invested, they feel that they have a right to you. They feel like they have a portion of ownership of you. That's why I always say be careful and be cognizant of what you accept. Gift, gestures, etc., because they do not come without any strings attached. They do not come without any strings attached. There's always an expectation of return. But once you no longer can satisfy your woman, I would say it would be time to leave the relationship. This would be equivalent to, I guess, what you call gateway drugs, where at one point you were, a user would be using XYZ. That no longer served him or her. Now she has to up it a little bit more. She has to go to the next thing. So going back to the old thing, it doesn't work. No matter how you repackage it, the presentation change, it doesn't work because the thrill is gone. You hear these old school songs telling you what happens when a woman's fed up. When the thrill is gone, there's nothing you can do to get her back. And this is what you're seeing now. She's too far gone. She's doing any and everything to force Will to leave her so she can be her true self. She can be her true self. Will was just the face of success. She attached herself to Will Smith because of who he was and who he was going to be. A lot of the times, the men that women marry, 60%, I would even go 65%, are not the guys that they truly wanted to be with. These are not the imprints. These are not the guys that she keeps hitting in the back because the run-in was so brief, or it was not under the right conditions. Because a lot of the times, your most lustful desire, your most tempting escapade is always at the inopportune time, or is too toxic to continue. It usually falls in. You have to find a balance in relationships because the rewards come in other areas. Again, you have these women wanting they want the 6, 7, 8 bedroom house. They want the Benz in the front. They want the man who's slanging 12 inches of ding. They want these crazy fantasies. I was listening to a video on Kevin Samuels today. It was an older clip. This woman is basically talking about how she's looking to leave her husband because they grew apart. She's looking for love and et cetera, et cetera. And he was a well-to-do man wanting her to stay home and have a family. She did not want to do that because she married too young. A lot of these women marry too young and get in relationships, long-term relationships that go south. They feel they have to get out on the blade once those relationships come to an end to make up for the lost time and the lost opportunities with different type of men that they did not get with. A lot of women get turned out after marriage because they got married too young. They start to see, again, social media open up the windows to all of the possible guys she could have access to. It's like going into a store and it has all of your favorite items. I'm an eBay person myself, and I'm not plugging eBay, but you can find anything that you can imagine on eBay. So imagine walking into a store and you can just type in what you're looking for and it's there. This is where we are in the sexual marketplace. Variety and option has poisoned the mindset of the modern woman because the betas that do not get the opportunities, they have the access now to give these free compliments and to put this gas in your woman's car. And you're trying to figure out where did she get this full tank from? Well, she got it from the beta male orbiters. Now she's coming home thinking she can do better and that she's convinced herself she will do better. If you can't satisfy anymore, it's time to end that relationship and move on because you're going to be fighting tooth and nail and to no avail to keep it alive. If you're looking for love, the love comes after, not before. And you like this video, comment, subscribe. It's the Date Master.